Hello everybody, welcome to Beer Reviews. This is a bit of an exciting day. We've made a pilgrimage out to Alpine Beer Company in Alpine, California. We'll just do a quick pan around. This is how you play.
That's it. That's all you get. That's as big as it is.
It's really titchy. Hopefully we're going to go into the brewery as well. They sometimes let you do tours and have a look around. Obviously these guys are known for their Nelson, the Nelson Sauvin Golden Rye IPA. Everyone goes nuts for it. I know it's Rob from Hopsy, one of his favourite beers of all time, so I can't wait to get my teeth into that. What we've also got, I'm going to run these through these because I'll forget. We've got Nelson, so obviously the Golden Rye. We've got Duet, which is American IPA. Both of them 7%. The Duet's Simcoe and Amarillo, I believe. Pure Hoppiness is a double IPA, 8%. Willy Vanilla is a wheat beer at 5%, 4.9 I think, with vanilla in. Mandarin Nectar is I think that's a wheat beer with mandarin obviously in it. I think that's at 6, and then the Captain Stout is also at 6, and that's a dry chocolate oatmeal stout.
Brewer.
Oh, one of the brewers today. So, without further ado, let's hit the Nelson first, I think, because we might as well try the beast at its best. We've actually got a pretty straw-coloured beer that's actually really hazy compared to the other beers we've got on the list already, on the line of people, and although it's quite clear, this one's pretty hazy. So it's Nelson Sauvin hops, obviously, and it's got some rye in it, so it's probably always hard it up. Let's get in there and get a good smell. I would be a fool not to say this smells of Nelson Sauvin. It really does. Super grapey, really tart grapefruit, that kind of white wine aroma in abundance. It sings out the glass, and it does have that. It's a really typical thing that I'm getting with all these West Coast IPAs, is the dankness, the freshness of the hops becomes apparent, how fresh they are. It just smells like it's a pure cone in front of you, and that's a good thing. It really helps with the flavour profile. It makes it a little bit more savoury, I find. So cheers, let's give it a try. Do you know what, there's a lot more rye in that than I thought there would be. And it's relatively balanced. Yes, there is a massive bouquet of floral kind of grape flavours, lots of the Nelson, the winey notes, but it's got a real dry crispness to it. It's not big and juicy, kind of like you get that flourish of fruit and then you get a rye flavour in the back of the palate that dries it up. It's a bit of a different take to the other Western ones I've tried. It's definitely juicy, but it dries up more. Unbelievably sippable because of that, because the flavour is so succinct but nice and dry. Really easy drinking beer. I can see how it stands up against the other West Coast IPAs. It's a bit different and I like that. Cool, so Duet. Now this is more a typical West Coast IPA, so they say, and this one is much clearer. You can probably just about see it, and it's slightly more coppery in colour. Nice combination as well. So on the nose, and literally just snorted some. Yeah, this is much more on the citrus scale, with a kind of nice grapefruit twang, maybe a bit of tropical note in there as well, alongside some pine and that typical dankness that you get from these beers. Much more typical in aroma, but really pungent all the same. So cheers. And unsurprisingly, on the palate, I'm getting a lot of grapefruit and a lot of citrus, and that nice pine undertone to it. Good distinct bitterness in this one. It's so much more juicy on the ending. The rye dried up was quite bitter. This one's a little more juicy. It kind of fills the palate for a bit longer in terms of flavour. So, moving along, we've got Pure Hoppiness, the double IPA that Mum's been sipping away. I actually like this one, I think. This is kind of like a golden yellow colour. It's a little bit lighter in colour than the Duet and a little bit darker than the Nelson. So, on the nose. Ooh. Wow, now that absolutely sings out the glass. The aroma is overpowering. This always has a floral note to it. It's a nice distinction between these beers. There's definitely American flavours in this, but I'm getting loads of floral, grapefruity flavour. Less of the pine. Yeah, it smells really floral. So, cheers, let's give it a try. One extra ABV, but the body's really increased. It's big and thick, this one, chunky. Big hit of caramel on top at the beginning, a big malty body that kind of holds up this. And I'm getting a lot of floral on sweet blood orange, and a little bit of twinge of grapefruit, but a lot of flowery notes in this one. And it's unbelievably drinkable for an 8% there. They've all been really drinkable, but this one has got more beef to it, a little bit more bite. Although having said that, it's not too bitter on the aftertaste on the finish. So now I've destroyed my palate with hoppy IPAs. We're moving on to a little bit more of a subtle wheat beer with vanilla. Now this one is surprisingly almost crystal clear, but then again Americans they seem to have been like that. Good amount of carbonation, a bit more than the rest of them. So on the nose of this one, unsurprisingly, woolly vanilla, a wheat beer with vanilla. I'm getting nice sweet vanilla note. I'm getting a little bit of bubblegum underneath it as well. And that kind of phenolic, yeasty, wheat yeast kind of aromas. So cheers, let's give it a try. There's a really nice carbonation in this that's really reminiscent of the German Hefeweizens. Nice medium body, just real nice hit of vanilla. It doesn't taste artificial, it tastes like natural vanilla, I'm sure it is. Natural vanilla kind of hit, and I get that kind of wheaty nuttiness at the back of the throat, alongside a little bit of the kind of Weizen yeast flavour. That's really nice as well, that is nice. Next up is the Mandarin Nectar, which I think is a wheat beer with mandarin in it. This one is a little bit darker in colour, more of a copper going on, and there's a good bit of head retention on it as well. So, on the nose, it almost smells like a kind of fruit drop sort of things, like mandarin fruit drops. You get those little regular sweet things, almost got that kind of aroma to it. Really, really just smell like fresh squeezed fruit, to be honest. So, cheers. Again, it's like pure mandarin juice in the glass. Got a little bit more spritz to it, a little bit more carbonation, but less of the Weizen, less of the Hefeweizen sort of flavour. It's more just a nice wheaty nuttiness and this real intense fresh mandarin flavour. Like I said, Ricola sweets, Ricola mandarin sweets, that's what I'm thinking. Well, that's probably not a good way. And the final one we're ending on is Captain Stout. Chocolate and oatmeal fried stout. Unsurprisingly, pitch black in the glass. The head is a little bit of an off-white when it was there. So going for a bit of a nose. It smells like dark chocolate. It's got a real kind of raw cacao smell to it. And then perhaps a little twinge of the kind of creamy oats in it too. Cheers. But it is definitely dry in flavour. It smells a little bit sweet, but it's real lot of roast in that. There's loads of roast, there's loads of toasted, darkened malt flavours, nice bit of nuttiness, bready flavours coming through. It's definitely on the drier side. It's not a sweet stout like many I've had. It's definitely dry. I guess kind of bitter chocolate as well. It's got a good thick mouthfeel to it, and you get a little bit of oat in the back of the palate as well. That's really cool too, and it's a little bit different to the other chocolate oatmeals we've had in America so far. So there you go, in reverse order I suppose, because we'll end with Nelson, I guess, the one that everyone will be interested in. So the Captain Stout, I think I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a nice different take on a style that they seem to like doing here, chocolate oatmeals. The Mandarin Nectar is pretty interesting, but it's not my huge in my cup of tea. The mandarin flavour is quite sweet and a bit overpowering, I think, but give that 7.5. It's a nice drink though. The woolly vanilla, that is quite interesting. Again, it's not 100% my sort of thing. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. The pure hoppiness, the double IPA, that's really intense, full of flavour. That's an easy 9. I'm also going to say for the duet as well, it's a typical West Coast IPA, but it does hold up really well against the others we've had here. That's a good 9. And the Nelson, that is interesting. I see why people really like it. I must say though, it's not one of my favourite beers I've had this far on this journey. And I know most people think it's an absolutely stonking beer, and I think it's pretty good, but I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 as well. It's not the most interesting beer we've had on this journey so far, but it's really good. The whole range is solid here. The whole range is bare but solid. It's really good. Well worth a trip, and I will point out this is a tiny place doing really small batch stuff. They've just been bought out by Green Flash, and I think they're bottling 3 beers kind of mainstream at the moment, but they're still tiny. There's only like 4 or 5 members of staff here, so for who they are, what they've got, their output's amazing. It's really good. And the Nelson, I really hope it brings them loads of joy. The food's cool as well. Fried pickles, chips, and cheesy asparagus dip stuff. It's all lovely. So until the next beer review, everyone, thanks for watching. Cheers.